Hello, and welcome back to Shogun 2 Total War, where previously we were very cautious about defending in a war against the very nearby Satomi clan, which is in the rest of the Kanto area over here. We did manage to take Musashi, more out of simple obligation that we need to push them back, of course. So that's one less castle for them to have. It's quite a high tier fortress there, which is excellent. With some recruitment buildings, I think we'll probably keep the Nodachi dojo, but we might change the Naginata dojo to a sake den, so we do get more happiness and income out of there. Because we do have the nearby Sagami province with its blacksmith, more for recruitment there. We do have to make sure we at least remove this army over here and then move over into Shimosa and Kazasa to really unite this area down here. And that would be some excellent ports and some money makers for us there. And one more area secured for us with the looming realm divide, of course. We do have an army over here to perhaps defend against the Satake, but it's looking like they're retreating back to Fukushima over here. Actually, no, they're not, because that's not taken by the Imagawa. Missed that one. And that's very interesting, because of course the Imagawa are over here otherwise. So the Satake no longer so much of a bother, but we should really take Shimotsuke and Hitachi from them anyway, just because it's one less enemy to deal with there. The main problem, though, really is this Hatakeyama stack over here, or the multiple stacks they have. Taking Noto is no longer a massive priority with the enemy armies really lingering in our areas. They're able to do this because they do have military access indefinitely over us for an agreement previously to break alliances. So that's backfired a little bit. Do they have any of these alliances still standing? No, they're allied with the Ashikaga Shogunate, which is absolutely fine, and the Hatano, which are very close together. That's absolutely fine. Can I trade with perhaps the Miyoshi to get a little bit more income here? I certainly can. Will they give us any payments? Unfortunately, the only payment they'll give us is 1,000, but we'll still take that because we have pretty much nothing in our coffers at the moment. And unfortunately, I don't think the Satake wants to trade with us at the moment, so no, that's absolutely fine. That's because we recently broke a trade deal with them anyway. So we'll keep that money in the bank at the moment. That will build up for the next turn. Our income is really not as high as I'd like it to be. Let's see how the Satake and the Hatakeyama move at the end of turn, shall we? So nothing really horrible it seems to have happened at the moment. Agent released, which is great. So we have a Mesuke in Echigo. That's all good. I'll tell you what, we'll use him to spy on Fukushima, because it looks like the Satake have moved over back there and recaptured that. But there's no one there, which is very interesting. We're going to keep that Mesuke there to spy. And it looks like the Hatakeyama have in fact used a lot of their forces actually to take Echizen. And they might even, we can't see exactly, but they might have a rebellion there very, very soon indeed. But we need to pounce while the iron is very hot indeed. We're certainly going to try and level up this general. He needs levels, and we need experience on our men as well. So let's at least get rid of these armies. We do need to push up, of course. I'll tell you what, we can move some of these warrior monks over as well. Can't exactly bring people out at the moment. I think that's a full stack. Let's take two of these out. Move these over just so they get some experience. That's great, that is now a full stack, that's all good. It's just for the sake of getting some more experience on these warrior monks to help us out in the battle there. The question is what to do exactly with this stack. I think we'd put it on ambush outside of Noto there. It's probably best we don't quite, because there's a road coming out in this area towards the dock. If they want to go to Kaga, they certainly can. But I'm a little more worried actually about Etchu, just because we have a higher garrison in Kaga there. That's all good. So, in terms of spending money, what do we want to do? I want to spend money on earning more money later, so that we're not so reliant on these trade deals that we have. If we go to our finances, our trade income is 2.2 thousand. And that's sort of propping us up on the income at the moment. So what I want to do is upgrade sake dens and markets. And to do that, we could upgrade those in Etchu. They'd be fairly safe actually once we remove the threats in Noto. We could upgrade the fort in Hida to actually create a market, and that really would probably be the best option. We could upgrade the market that already exists in North Shinano as well. Let's move down this Meske to... I'm going to move him actually to... So I don't really need him in South Shinano. Let's move them to a money-making province. Actually, the income's pretty decent at North Shinano, so just leave him here. He can slowly work up the growth there. Are we being blockaded here? It looks like we probably are. I think we can take this battle, so let's at least deal with this. Now the balance of power is not in our favour, but they only have, what, a couple more ships than us. This would be absolutely fine. So the thing about naval battles is they're actually very, very simple if you simply spam Bokubai. The enemy AI always derps out. It really does. We're going to play this on fast forwards for a little bit, just because they can be rather slow, of course. We're going to get our movement going there so that we can turn around as well. It looks like the enemy is going to try and focus over here, so let's get everyone onto one ship. We'll start seeing that they're going to take rather heavy losses fairly quickly. You can see their acting admiral is over here, so that's absolutely fine. What we could do is try and block that off. Actually, just move forwards. I'd be very lucky to do so, though. So this one's taking quite a few losses. That's absolutely fine. We didn't manage to block this off. But we did. Excellent. Just got a ram there. Love to see it. No point in using fire arrows on smaller ships. This one's going to have to be brought round, otherwise we'll be losing that. Actually, we're not positioned exactly how I would like, to be honest. And their admiral didn't take a lot of damage there, actually. Let's move back round. Get into the open water here. So we've managed to get into a more favourable positioning. You see what I mean by the enemy AI always derping out on naval battles. They've managed to collide with a couple ships onto this island here, and this is quite common behaviour as well. They just tend to go for the map border and get stuck on that, and we can isolate them there. So this is why Bokubais are just fine for it, because they're fairly speedy, fairly manoeuvrable as ships go in this era, and they just get the job done, really. They can take down much larger ships as well with their flaming arrows if push comes to shove. So now that we've isolated a few of their units, we can take them on. Superiority of numbers, and that'll be a fairly easy battle. So there you go, perfect victory, very nice indeed. Enemies going to retreat away, we can certainly let them do that. We're going to pull back in. How much is it to repair? It's a little bit. We might as well keep the captured ships as well, because more numbers are always useful. Easy Province, I'm not too sure about having Warhorse stables, but I'm not too sure what I'd like to replace it with, really. Let's demolish the Naginata Dojo so that in the next turn we can create a sake den. And over here, let's just upgrade the market, and in Hida we're going to upgrade the fortress as well. Can't move anything towards our northern areas at the moment, that's absolutely fine. But over here we're going to want to attack the enemy armies, really, aren't we? Actually, we might not have enough. Ideally, I want to sabotage this army, I think. Yeah, we're not going to have enough money to do so. The chance of that happening is quite high. So what we're going to do is actually stop this, because it's just a little more important to get this done. Watch it fail now. There we go, lovely stuff. We are okay on replenishment here. How are we with Kenshin? It's just our bows that need replenishment. Okay, so we will attack with Kenshin. And we can move over here. Lovely stuff. We'll fight this battle as it is here. So, we've been blessed with a hill to start with. That is absolutely brilliant. So let's sit on top of this. We can walk up over there. How's the enemy deploying? A little bit, and they're not splits. They're just hidden in the trees over here, and they do have a hill of their own. That's absolutely fine. We see Naginata Samurai on the extreme flank over here with some Yari Ashigaru protecting them. And this is just meaning that because they're Yari and Naginata based, we can't initiate combat with our cavalry. Looks like their general of light cavalry is over here in the trees. If we can isolate them, that'd be excellent because our Yari cav can take that on fairly comfortably. Let's group this up over here, and I think we're going to try and move out over here, maybe initiate an engagement on the flank with this group over here. And with this group, we're going to try something similar on this flank. If we go in the trees here to begin with, we bring up the cavalry from this flank over here. And the same over here to protect. I would like to replace this unit of light cavalry here with some Yari cavalry in the future. It's not the greatest priority at the moment, and they can do okay with their high experience. But even with the Yari cavalry over having less experience, it's just that much better still. Only losing out on some melee defense, but that's just a characteristic of this particular unit. So there's no point really actually in keeping this hill because the enemies are going to be adamant to keep their own. So we're going to move forwards and take the open space here, like so. And we're going to try and engage on their flanks simultaneously and then push their core with our own. So it looks like they're trying to actually engage our cavalry on our right flank. That's absolutely fine. They're pushing up, seeing that we're weak in this area. That really suits me just fine. We have Yari Samurai and Yari Ashigaru over here. In fact, they're just reshifting their lines, are they, to push up? That's absolutely fine. Well, we might as well push in with our warrior monks to this area and wait for them to be surrounded so that we can push in on the enemy's flanks with the Katana Samurai. As long as we're on that and keeping an eye out there, that's going to be absolutely fine. Let's push up once again to our left flank here. And I think we want to push in the tiniest bit with our core, just so that we can react that much quicker. So, yeah, enemies charging here with Yari Samurai and such over here. Let's, charge this Samurai unit in their flanks while they are moving. That would be favourable to us. Charging a broken formation, always useful. Excellent stuff. Love to see it, but we can't sit around waiting for that. Let's catch this Yari Samurai while they're not engaged. We push in over here. Lovely. We can get rear charges in as well with our light cav. That would be absolutely brilliant. And the line over here is wavering and moving about. Let's charge in there. We need to get closer with our cavalry, don't we? Let's move in with our core once again. How are we doing over here? Have we got the engagements we want? Yes, we have. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. We will take some losses, that's absolutely fine, but you can see the Yari Samurai here wavering very quickly already. And so is this Ashigaru, which did try to flank them, which is great stuff. Let's get some flanking charges with our light cav there, and we can pull them out immediately afterwards. What's this? Bo Ashigaru and Yari Ashigaru. That's absolutely fine. We can engage once again with our warrior monks to that. Just stay in the trees here for some minor cover. Just keep an eye out onto this charge here, because we don't want to stay engaged. Probably could have been a bit more facing the enemy a bit better there. That's absolutely fine. Let's pull out. Pull out this way. Move into the enemy light cav there with our Naginatas. Countercharge the Yari Ashigaru, which is excellent because they're not in a proper Yari wall. That's excellent. Great stuff. Let's pull back to the true flanks here and charge down the running samurai. Got an engagement here. That's absolutely fine. Pull round. Winning, that's Naginata Samurai against Naginata Warrior Monks. We need to just push up here, I think, with our katanas. We'll take this flank here. Lovely. So our core needs to get engaged now, which is absolutely fine. Let's push up very quickly. Gonna have to run up the hill. Kate Bush would be proud, but I don't like the idea that we're going to be tired on that. How are we doing here? Light cav engaged into bow Ashigara is fine, but don't want to take that as a prolonged engagement. Let's push up over here. We need to get our Yari Cav active somehow, don't we? Let's pull round here. Push in with our monks over here. Do we have the ability ready here? Let's shout. Great stuff. Chase down the bow Ashigara there quickly and push into the enemy's flanks with our Katana Samurai. Love to see it. So that should force them to rouse off. Great stuff. We've absolutely shattered this area here. And we're going to get a bit of a charge in here. How are we doing on this area? Actually pretty damn decent. We've broken through very successfully indeed. Let's push up to the enemy's core here and get some shouts going there. We might not actually need to use our Katana Samurai on our left flank, but I will want to get Kenshin standing and fighting. Fire on that Yari Ashigara there, push up because that's probably going to threaten our bows. That's absolutely fine. Dealt with the bow Ashigara there. We were going to try and get a flanking charge, weren't we? I think they've lost their general. We didn't get an announcement because they're not a true general. Ours is in a bit of danger. He's probably getting shot at by some bows. That's absolutely fine. Let's stand and fight here because we're going to cover a lot of people. Boost them, shout here. What he wants to do here, get in the charge here and shout.
My lord, a glorious victory will soon
Taking lots of losses on this unit here. That needs to pull out him. That's all good. Charge here is great. Shouts, thank you, to demoralise. And I think we just push in with our cav to make sure there's no survivors. And the same here really, because look at this flank just absolutely crushed now. Love to see it. We're going to charge down with our cavalry and we'll continue to chase those down to make sure there's a few survivors. Excellent decisive victory there. Only major losses on this unit of warrior monks there. It's absolutely fine. That would have been on the right flank where we engaged. So that's all good. Very acceptable losses on our part. We did leave them with 2 battered units here. Let's see what exactly they are. Light cav and some Yari Ashigara. We can certainly deal with that. Let's pull back to our own region though. And upgrade Kenshin. So, I'm looking really, because that's morale for Ashigara is not so useful. Sieging, Decreases siege length, not so worried about that. I think really I want to go for wedge formation and that can then push into attack on land. Really. That's all good. Yeah, there's not really much else I want to improve in this area before we spend the points at the moment. Not going to use him in actual combat there. Bushido Art's not so worried. Improving honour, I mean, it's all good at the moment. Reducing upkeep cost is always useful. Don't have a lot more levels to go through though, so we've got 1, let's say 2, and the next level up we'll have to go through here. And that does increase replan rate as well. It's very interesting. I only really want wedge formation, extra charge. It doesn't make a lot of difference at the moment. I think we're going to go 1 and... oh, we need to get both in here. Okay. That's a bother. Improves the inspire ability and more morale for men, so that's just better generally. So we'll keep that, but it does only have 1 more upgrade level to go through, which is a shame. How are we doing with Masakage? He needs some levels. Can we reach this unit at the moment? We can't. Okay, what we're going to do then? Oh, we don't need to do anything because we will be reinforcing Kenshin if they decide to march through. I don't think they'll want to. Let's try and get rid of this Mesike. Failed at 70%, wasn't that? That's pretty bad. Apprehension. Enemy tried and executed. Lovely stuff, because that was quite a high level Mesike. What else do you want to do then? Is there anything else you want to do? Perhaps we can use this ninja to go to Shimotsuke. I'm really worried about where these Satake armies are actually. They've got a rebellion there, that's great stuff, but it's already had a go. want to move over here so that we're ready to take Shimotsuke later on. And with the rest of our money, let's see if we can upgrade anything else, really. Wouldn't mind upgrading a market if there's one about. Just a little more useful than the sake dens in the long term. Can I recruit what I want to from here? Pretty much. Alrighty, so I think we're just going to upgrade a sake den to a criminal syndicate here. And that'll be fine. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for this turn. We've done all of our movements. Just got to watch out for the Hatakeyama over here. So we've got a couple ports blockade, and that has reduced our income a little bit. But now I'm going to want to look at actually removing the Hatakeyama in this area. Lost sites, that's absolutely fine. Just bring a navy over here. I don't like this whatsoever. I really don't like this, but they are damaged, and we do have a pretty decent army over here for dealing with that in an open battle. I'd love to have a ninja to sabotage their movement. It's going to be a toughie, that battle. We're going to take a lot of losses, but we need to remove this lot. How we're looking over here, actually pretty decent. Let's bring our ninja over to Shimosuke because we can now see the masses and masses and masses of Satake armies. And this one army isn't going to be able to deal with that by itself. In fact, we see 3 armies, 3 full stacks. I don't like that whatsoever, actually. I really don't like that whatsoever. Let's recruit a few more monks over. Just a couple will do there. Garrison, of course. And create a couple more Ashigari units there. Yeah, this is going to be a bother. I think one army will do here. Let's bring this Mesike over to help scout Kazusa. Yeah, there's nothing in there. So we can just leave one army to deal with this. I think that's going to be Kenshin. We're going to bring up Masakage to support here. Because if we take an area, we're looking at putting on Realm Divide pretty much immediately. So I think we start with the Hatakeyama. And we're going to offer, actually, to join a war with the Amako. I'm pretty sure
our friend is always welcome,
can't offer.
especially in these times of trouble. Come,
That's a bit of a shame.
let us talk.
Can I request alliance and do that? No. That's a shame. I was going to ask for a bit of money for that. Okay. Double check, I shouldn't have come out of there. They're still just allied with the Hatano and the Ashikaga Shogunate. This will hurt our honour, but we do have quite high honour with Kenshin. Can't quite besiege that right now, but we can attack that. Okay. That's going to have to be how it is then. We have to wipe through this army quickly and make sure we don't take too many losses for that army there. Alright. Might as well call our allies to help. It's not going to make much difference. Let's push over here. That's all good. I'll tell you what. I can't remember exactly what they have in here. It should be fine to deal with that. Let's... I can't quite siege that just because this is in the way. Let's attack that then. So we probably could auto-resolve this. That's a very battered army. That's just 2 generals, that's all good. And that's actually not too bad whatsoever. Our reinforcing army certainly matches up against that. Are we going to control a large army? That's the question. Because both armies will be active at the same time. It's just a case of whether... because we're going to be engaged with this army first, of course. So this army is going to come in second. And the fact that they're... even though they're battered, they're aggressive, katana and Nadachi units. So they will be able to get the flank on us. I think we can use this as a protection unit with our Yari. I think we'll be fine. We'll control a large army, get everything all at once. It just helps us out there, I think.
いざ上杉の武者ども、親兄弟のことは考えるな。お家に対する揺るぎないお務めと信心だけを念頭に置け。 その先に勝利はある。ここで戦うは勝利のためのみにあらず、この戦の意味はもっと大きい。我らの将来を決める戦じゃ。今日の敵は武士の誇りのかけらもない奴らだ。野心生まれで蔑まれながら死ぬ。奴らの腐った屍は恥という名の棺桶で葬られる。我が陣で目立つは槍部隊の不足。今は敵に気づかれぬことを祈るしか打つ手はないわ。今日の戦、お主らに不名誉は一切ない。お主らは一門の歴史に名誉ある一環を書き加えるだけじゃ。
So, very interesting battlefield here, one which does favour us at the start. The only problem I'm worried about is that there is a middle ground raised slope here, and the enemy does have a very interesting hill, very defensible hill as well with these pits in, if they do decide to stay on there. Our own position though does have a very usable hill here, whereby you can't of course climb this slope in front of our units here, so we're going to try and get our bows on top of this hill, firing over our warrior monks here, try and bring the enemy in there. It'd be great if we did have some cavalry to really poke the enemy, then bring them over to us. Our reinforcements are going to come from this side, so we're going to wait for them. And the enemy's reinforcements, I'm not entirely sure where they're going to come from, quite likely their flank. Enemy is actually going to come over and try and engage us, are they? Unless they're going to go for this middle ground here. Yeah, we do see actually the enemy reinforcements coming from this end of the map. That's okay, it's all good. Got a lot of units hiding in woodland here, and over here as well. See how that transpires though, the enemy having to move through this area, of course. We can retreat back, that's absolutely fine. Got a lot of Ashigara coming in now. I think we bring the Ashigara out to this area so that we can produce Yari walls. We don't want them running, that's a bit silly. Yeah, they're walking, that's all good. So much Ashigaru. So much. So in fact it would be a good idea to bring some Ashigaru as our front line here. Which is what we're going to do with this group. Even more coming in now. That's all good. Just walk them. It's all good. So many. Even more bow units coming through. Tell they can come to this area here. Look at the masses of the peasants though. Deary me. Even more warrior monks is always useful as well. They can be a bit of a reserve, I think, on this flank here. I didn't manage to grab all of them. It's all good. This lot, they're not entirely sure what they're doing just yet. Let's just bring them over here so we do have numbers in one area. Okay, it looks like the enemy wants to try and camp in the mid-ground here. Don't quite have the range to tempt them out, do we? With our bows. We can't move any further. But with our Yari Ashigaru coming up, I think that will just about tempt them. So the idea is to pull the enemy into this area here, so we have a bit of a kill zone with our arrows, lock down their core, and then strike with our hidden units on their flanks, of course. I will bring in some Ashigara over here to back them up and just count as bodies. So we're still trying to rearrange our lines, but they have brought in some bow Ashigara here. They're just out of range of our own bows, but I can't be allowing them to fire onto our warrior monks. They have 0 armour and can't be taking any hits there. Firing out some fire arrows now on this advancing unit. It's okay if they're isolated here. We can pull out with... Oh, they're bringing in more bow Ashigara there. Interesting. We'll certainly be able to take this fight here. Should be over fairly quickly. We're very much outclass by Ashigara here, don't we? Easily. I'm going to start firing into their own men. Suits me fine. How we're doing here? Yeah, already made so many losses onto them. Even though we took losses on the charge in there, that's all good. Don't think we're going to be able to hatch our plan exactly how I want to here, you know? That's a shame, because I'd love to get our bows involved. But the enemy is just so defensive in this game, I find. What have we got coming in here? Katana Samurai is coming in now. Alright, maybe we can pull back. Just give that... No, let's get to pull back. It's alright, they're shattered now anyway. That's all good. Done our job there. Pull back here. Try and run this unit up to create a spear wall. And hopefully this is a general push now. We can seriously deal with that. We'll run this last bit here. Just to get into position. Is there anyone else that needs to get into position? Doesn't really look like it, does it? Yeah, it's absolutely massacring this lot now on their advance. If they want to carry on, we will Yari Wall. No, they're not too sure. They're just going to stay on our arrow fire here. Suits me fine. A very limp charge into our wall. Take that. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We will maintain that. What have we got over here? Nodachi. We're attacking that Nodachi before it can charge into us. Let's create a massive push now. Everyone in here, thank you very much. Supports that unit, although they're really holding their own, actually. Everyone, Yari Wall here, please. I need to pause here because I did slightly forget about that, to be quite honest. And we've not managed to Yari Wall a few people. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, they've charged their generals in. Alright. I'll take that. Absolutely take that. Alright, see. Cool. So what have we got here? Katana Samurai once again charging into a Yari Wall. Absolutely fine with that. Charge into the flanks while we can. Push up. Thank you very much. While the Iron Yari Wall, they won't be able to last too long without support. Push up our general for inspiring abilities. We do have a lot of bow Ashigaru here. Let's use fire onto the Katana Samurai. Push up here to protect general, of course. And now we can use our flanking units very nicely indeed. These two actually aren't engaged, so let's pull that in here. Actually, let's attack the bow Ashigaru. And that makes an opening for us over here, doesn't it? The rest of our hidden units are going to charge in over here. Move up here as well. Lovely. Charge in here. Thank you. What do we want to inspire first? Let's inspire some warrior monks here. Thank you. We can shout as well. Absolutely disgusting. We're going to need to shout here because we're going to get a little overwhelmed. Okay, push in here. Keep pushing through and charge into this flank, please. Great stuff. Look at that. Charge in that flank, please. Come out of Yari Wall. Oh, we're all done here. Lovely. Absolutely. Brilliant stuff. Oh, burnt down the houses as well. Push in here. Maybe get some shouts going. Taking a fair few losses in some areas. It's making a game lag, actually. Let's focus this general, please. Pull this back because there's some Katana Samurai in that fray, but actually they're shattered. Enemy is fully shattered here. It's a shame we don't have the cavalry to chase him down, but look at that absolute massacre. We lost 2.2 thousand men in that. Not a lot from our main army though, which is absolutely brilliant. Enemy has 0 men remaining though. Ideal. Absolutely ideal. The question now is, do we trigger realm divide? I think the answer there... let's see, can we put an ambush here actually? Up here. Yeah, that just about covers us, hopefully. Right. Okay. Let's see if we can sabotage an army here. Nope. Nope. Let's turn. No. Right. Okay, well there's our answer. We do have a higher experience shinobi here, but that's not going to do too much. Let's try and get some sort of experience though on this one. Sabotage this. That's just some experience for our ninja there. The garrison here is a little large. Let's up that one. What do we want to do over here? Let's attack this army. And I think we can get away. If we do a nice attack, we can get away with an auto-resolve. That's fine. I think we're just going to run these down very quickly. Let's take this guy on because he can't move. Don't mind the auto-resolve there. Brilliant. So, we're very much primed to remove the Satomi over here. Do that over a couple turns. All good for me. We do need to make sure we're happy over here though. Can we get away with exempting them from tax? That's actually quite the loss we're making there. And maybe I can administer that just to help out a tiny bit. Well, that does actually do the job there. Alright. We'll keep those Yari in there though, because I might want to move up that monk later on. Not a loss of points. I might as well deal with that very quickly. Just frees up some income for us. Is this one battered? Not yet. How are we doing in Sagami for income? It's just not good enough, is it? Well, that does push us up enough. I think we can deal with the unrest there for one turn. We'll be fine. In fact, what we can do is just take this lot. Still not very happy with us, are they? I'm still really worried about this Tokugawa army. We're going to have to shift on as soon as we take Noto with this army, I think. Down to here, and that might still not be enough. Bugger it, we capitalise on our current gains here. Absolutely. And we trigger realm divide now. A quick save that. Just in case it turns out to be a massive mistake. Let's trigger realm divide.
It is dangerous to be the tallest tree, for that is where the axe strikes first. We are victims of conspiracy. I'm called an enemy of the state. We must have vigilance. We must prepare for war.
So, there we go. We could make the Ikuiki our vassal. Well, that would cause more problems than it's worth. So let's peacefully occupy this, shall we? And there we go. Realm divide. Legendary clan fame. Rather nasty indeed. We have the money to do that. We're certainly going to keep the archery range and the temple there because we do have the artisans to increase our accuracy. That's another trade good as well. Remove the Hatakiyama from this area, please. That's absolutely fine. It's only Ashigaru. Can deal with that. We don't have the money to repair this. That's absolutely fine. We do want to remove this over here so we can create a sake den. Ideally, we'd remove this navy immediately, to be honest. But I think, really, that's probably all we have time for today, guys. Let's come over to Kaga. We're going to have to really move on over to protect the North Shinano. That is very wide open. But yeah, that is unfortunately all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. Realm Divide is now upon us, and things are going to start getting difficult. we are slap bang in the middle of many, many enemies over here. The Satake, Hatakeyama still have areas in northern Honshu over here, and of course the Date will turn on us as well. I'm very much worried about the Tokugawa and the massive Amako regions over here. They can just flood us with armies through Wakasa into Echizen now. That's going to be rather difficult indeed. So upgrade our general and call it a day though. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video today, and I shall see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.